Hello, in this next video I'm going to demonstrate a few of the functions of the Western Front Association's access to the library edition of FOAL 3. I'm going to assume that everybody's got to this stage, which is the Western Front Association's page on FOAL 3 by going through the gateway on the WFA website. So the first thing you'll find here is a number of buttons on the top, on the tabs here, and I would recommend that people in the first instance click on the search button here, which will then give you this page, and I would further recommend that you at this stage go to the advanced option here. So the first thing that you can see here is a number of options: first name, last name and keyword. At this stage I would not use the place box as this is not functioning at the moment, but it doesn't matter at all because it's perfectly possible to use the keyword box to find places, towns, etc. So in the first instance, let's just tap in the surname Smith here, and using the keyword let's use Coyley, and we'll see how many men called Smith were in the King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry. As you can see, first of all we've got 156 matches in 150 results here. Now we can change this in order to re-interrogate the machine using the word Coyley with dots after the initials of the regiment, and that will give us another set of results. As you can see here, we've got 95 matches in 83 results here. Furthermore, let's try again with using spaces instead of dots, and search again, and once again we get a different set of results, such as these here. And just clicking on the very first one randomly, we can see that this chap is called Walter, and I can't make out the second Christian name there, Smith, of the King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry, regimental number 9220, discharged on the 3rd of February 1917, and he was from Halifax, and he received a gunshot wound in his right arm. So we can exit that and go back to the search box here and modify the search, and perhaps use the surname Jones, and see how many men from Swansea called Jones there are. So here we have, on the face of it, 57 matches, which we can see. Let's just click on the first one here, and we've got Evan Owen Jones of the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, and his pension was claimed by Mrs. Anne Jones, who was his mother. So this tells us certainly, for example, his mother's address, and the fact that he was killed in action on the 28th of October 1916, and his regimental number was 54320. So returning back to the search page again, let's modify the search and clear out the word Swansea and the word Jones, and put a regimental number here into the keyword search and search for anybody who's got that particular regimental number, and it comes up with 5 matches. What I'd caution about here is that this isn't 5 individuals. We've got page 2 of 2 records and page 1 of 3 records. Now I do confess to having cheated a little bit here, because I do know what I'm going to tell you about here, but let's just go to this particular record here for regimental number 304096. What we can see here is that we have a record for somebody in the Royal Air Force, numbered 304096. So what we need to see here is that this particular ledger, which the number is in the top corner here, is in fact not the only ledger for this particular individual. What I want to draw your attention to is the fact that we've got another ledger reference here, 3AF 1923. So this tells us immediately that there is another record for this particular individual. Now, had the search result not brought out the various results that we've just seen, I would always say to people using this, have a look for other pension record references here and use this as a means to search out other ledgers which haven't necessarily come up as a result on your initial search. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit complicated, but we're just going to explain the browse function now. So using this particular example, 3AF 1923, let's go back here and go to browse. This enables us to go through the titles on Folk 3. So clicking on all titles here, and then onto this button here, and then onto the pension record cards. This is where there needs to be some further work by Ancestry, because technically the ledgers should be under PRC ledgers here, but unfortunately at the moment a lot of these records are under cards. Now this is something that the good people at Ancestry are going to resolve shortly, but let's just go with the flow here and look at pension record cards. Now the 3AF 1923 code that we've just seen, the initial number 3 we know is for the northwest of the UK, so we'll click on northwest here. The next part of the code was AF. Now that was for Air Force, so we'll click on Air Force, and the code number was 1923. So let's scroll down here to 1900 to 1999, and this picks out a lot of individuals. So scrolling down, we can find here Reginald Alfred Darley, which we'll click on, and click on page 1 of that particular record. And this actually is the same chap as we've just been looking at, but his other pension record ledger. So that's just a very brief overview of how to use the browse button, which I hope is something that you might find useful. So on that note, I'll leave the records with you to have a good search through and good hunting. Thanks very much for watching this video.